Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Aggro on the draw for game 1. Cavernous Souls, pitch the lab, and pass. It is a temple, so it might be Eldrazi. Nope, it is Basking Broodscale. Temple. Flesh Rake. Opponent over here is probably sweating thinking that we're playing the same thing. Draw. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, not enough. So we will go line break. Go E-temp, combat, target line break. Down to 10. Alright, let's see who wins next turn. You have a K command. You also are missing a green source. There's K command X1. Scry draw ramp. Like I said, they're missing at least a green source. And they also need a payoff. And pass. Over the Burn Willows. There's the green source. There's the Broodscale. There's the equip. Alright. I mean, if they have a payoff, then I'll concede. I need to see it, opponent. Don't just tell me you have it. Okay. Yep. Concede. Alright. Unfortunate. I mean, that was not a bad start either. Turn 1 Flesh Rake into turn 2 line break. I mean, that's pretty good. We still lost. I mean, I don't know if there's much that could be done about that, to be completely honest. Yeah. We'll bring in Dismember, cut the Gemstone, and probably cut a Null Drifter here. Yeah. Well, maybe a Sire 7 Deaths, actually. Yeah, because that was what, turn 3 for opponent? Yeah, I want to say that was a turn 3 kill by opponent, so yeah. We did not have much. We can make this work. We have a lot of hits off top. 9 hits for TKS. We have, I think, like 10 hits for line break. Yeah, we have plenty of hits here. It goes down to 5. They're mulliganing pretty aggressively. That heralds. Pass. And pass. Go over the Burn Willows. Stirrings. What does Stirrings find? Signs of Broodscale. Not thrilled about that. Alright, 7 mana value spell. Go. 9 hits. Stomping around will take. Line break. Haste the line break. Alright, 8 damage, turn 2, down to 12. And pass. We have lethal on board as it stands. Yeah, if we can just cast the TKS and have no blockers, we win. That's a flesh rake. I mean, they're going to have to block. Draw. So we might go. TKS is the right choice, though. I mean, yeah, we just take the Broodscale. So basically you are forced to block either TKS or line breaker, otherwise you lose. Yes. Alright. And pass. There's the Wooded Foothill. Fetch Wooded Foothill. Okay, Command X2, Chrysalis. So you have a 4/5 available. Well, that solves that. So I'll just start with TKS. TKS ETB, we'll get rid of that K command. Lab trigger, no imprint. Dismember target Chrysalis. And Bone scoops it up. Alright, I mean that was a turn 4 win, so not bad. We want our gemstone back. I wonder if Wastegate Battle Mage would be worth it here, actually. Yeah, I think it actually is, because it can get rid of, whatchamacallit, Urza Saga, as well as the Blade, Blood Chief. The question is what we want to cut here. I want to say a ramp, because we really need the Wastegate. Maybe it that Heralds is not that great here. Maybe we cut 2 of them, because the Soil Megaspawn is not bad. It that Herald is kind of medium. Maybe like this? Yeah, Swine Megaspawn. I think maybe Megaspawn is the right thing to cut. Because like I said, the ramp kind of feels pretty medium here when the ramp isn't what we're going after. Just need to disrupt their overall game plan. Flute also is a thought, I suppose. I think we keep it like this. Yeah, let's do this. So we need 9 7-mana value spells. And that's a turn 2 TKS. And hit that Heralds would be nice. Ask and you shall receive. So now we can set up for a TKS. Do you have a Flesh Rake? Looking like it. Could be a TKS of their own. That would be unfortunate, actually. A K command X2 would be fine if they want to get rid of the Heralds. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not too pressed about that. The fact that they did it on my turn means that our TKS has more value. Sprawl is a whiff. That is awkward, I will admit. I mean, we take out the Broodscale. No ifs or buts about that. Ancient Stirrings. Finds another Broodscale. That's less than ideal. Draw. Misty Rain. Fetch. Stomping Grounds. Shock. Do you want to dismember the line breaker instead of the TKS is the question. Right now, we don't know if they have a payoff is the biggest thing. Dismember TKS. You draw a card, blade triggers. And line break will hit you for 4. We're not dead yet, but we're not in a good spot either. Down to 10. This Broodscale's gonna get big. Yep. Because they'll be able to cast the Broodscale. Equip the Broodscale. And adapt the Broodscale. Alright, question is, do they have a payoff? If they do, they win. Maybe Disruptor Flute's not bad here either. No? Okay. I mean, that's not bad. It's an infinitely big Broodscale, and now you're making more than one spawn. So what they can do now is they basically have a board. So let's just say I can't kill you via combat damage. Yeah, because basically what they have here is an infinitely big board of infinitely big creatures. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a way to do anything here. Because, yeah, they're basically just infinite, right? Yeah, I mean, I just concede. GG's. Yep. Because the most I can do is go Flesh Rake, Null Drift. I mean, do I have any lines? I don't think so. For blue. triggers. Draw 2. You need to be here a lot earlier, friend. Oh, funny enough, that triggers the Basking Broodscale, right? Yeah, that's GG's. GG's. Alright, well, that is unfortunate. We were close, but just weren't able to get there in a meaningful way. Yeah, like I said, maybe the Disruptor Flutes were right. Name Blade of the Blood Chief. Yeah, probably. Alright, well, we'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. I mean, right now, if we could draw into a temple, a Utopia Sprawl would be pretty good. So 8 hits there. Saga trigger, pass, draw. Okay, command is not it. Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. Pass, and pass. Saga trigger. I'm afraid this might be Broodscale. No, maybe not. What the hell am I playing against? Amulet Titan? Probably. There's the temple. So we could go Flesh Rake here. Flesh Rake, pass, and pass. So it that heralds, line breaker, amulet, crumbling vestige. You can make a construct at least. Seiju, spelunking. So you have still only one amulet effect. You unfortunately do not have Ghost Quarter. Not that I think that will necessarily matter here. So yeah, it that herald triggers Flesh Rake, Waste, Line Break, attack, and then we might, if we get another turn, we might be able to win. That's a big if. Mycosynth Gardens becomes Amulet. I'm not confident that we do, though, is the problem. We could hold up Decay Command for X equals 2 for an Aftermath Analyst line. There is some thought to doing so. Draw. Devourer. Devourer does not cut it. 4 cards in hand. They're clearly setting up. I think we go for it, because if they just try instead use Amulet Titan, that is GG's regardless. Go to combat. Target line break. So close, but so far away. Yeah, I think if we had that temple a turn sooner, maybe it would have looked a bit different. Alright, at this point, we see if they have it. If they have it, they have it. Otherwise, it should be GG's. I mean, that's 9 mana there. Yikes. Uh-huh. That's empty. Board. Yeah, the Aftermath Analyst. There's Primeval Titan. Uh-huh. So, Bounce Land T-West. Mirror Pool Lotus Field. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense to do that first. You could even go as far to Mirror Pool and then Echoing Depths after. Yep, target prime time. The biggest thing is I need to see that they know how to win from here. So now you can grab Echoing Depths. T-West Bounce Land, I mean, that works too. Because from here, now you can go into the Aftermath Analyst line. They still do need Shifting Woodland. Right now you have 1, 2, 3. The Aftermath will be type number 4. Yeah, the fact that Saga does count towards 2 for Delirium, which only needs 4, is kind of nutty when you think about it. Because, yeah, now you'll T-West for Pact. You'll Pact for Aftermath Analyst. Aftermath Analyst then lets you go pretty much into another loop where then you can shift, not Shifting Wood, but Mirror Pool Titan. And with the Mirror Pool Titan, then you're able to go for Shifting Woodland, which will then connect the loop. Yeah. So maybe, like, again, maybe there was a thought to just keeping K command up. Yeah. Well, I definitely have Delirium, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4 types in Yard, even without the Sagas. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. So yeah, once they show me the Shifting Woodland, I'll concede. Because then at least it shows that they understand the loop. I just want comprehension, basically. I want them to demonstrate comprehension. Because from there, then they can eventually get to Hammer Battlements, to make Infinite Titans, and just attack in, right? So they'll have multiple lines. Well, that's Beseiju and my entire mana base. Otawara, all my creatures, leave me with nothing but basics. That's one line. The other line is just make Infinite Titans, Hammer Battlements, haste the Titans, win. The other line is Valakut and Dryad, right? There's just a plethora of lines that Titan has available to it at this point. Once the two sides connect, and just needs that, you know, an abundance of mana plus Shifting Woodland, and they're golden. Yep, sack the Sagas. And then Growth Chamber picks up the T-West. Yep. Shifting Woodland, the Aftermath Analyst. And like I said, at this point, it's Infinite Titans. Transmute for Summoner's Pact for Dryad. Nope, we're going this way first. Okay. I mean, 15 manage on turn 3's not bad is the thing, right? Like, the deck isn't performing inadequately. Titan, yep. Again, all I want to see at this point is what lethal line they're going for. I just want to understand the deck. But they're kind of just dirtling is the thing. So it's like, this feels like they don't have Dryad, because if they had Dryad, they would have already packed for the Dryad, and then we would have gone through the Valakut line to win. It should be that simple. So why haven't they? We also haven't seen a Hanweir Battlement for some reason. Just gonna tell them. I mean, they also could. Okay, there's Battlement. Okay. I was gonna say, just show me Battlement, Dryad, Valakut, something to demonstrate that you have a lethal line. So let's concede. At this point, basically, they can make Infinite Titans, haste the Infinite Titans, and win. Okay. On to game 2. I really don't have too much to go for here. The closest, I guess we have Wayscape. We have Jailer. So TKS is good. We can cut, I'm gonna say probably Sire and cut Gemstone. Then I think we might cut 2 that Heralds, because we want TKS. We also kind of want Myco Spawn. Let's run it like this. Yeah. Play for game 2. I mean, we're looking at a turn 2 line break. We just need to follow it up with something. Wooded Foothills, pass. Put a pause on end step. Otawara, Amulet Vigor, yeah. Commercial District, trigger. Myco Spawn to yard. Draw. Sprawl's not it. I say as I want to tap for green. Line break. Line break targets self. Go to combat, hit for 4. And pass. And if we can get a land for TKS, that would be good. We do have, what, 20 hits off the top right now? So those odds aren't bad. I want to say it's like 40%, more or less. Forest. Amulet. That's scary. What? Land. Trigger. Imprint. Please only have like a Titan no pact. Titan no pact, Titan no pact. Son of a... Okay, hold on. They don't have lands. So that's okay. But if they find a bounce land, we're dead. Maybe go Pact? Or Titan? The thing is, they can win next turn if they just draw into it. Pact or Titan. Well, they can't cast the Pact right now. So Titan? Yeah, we'll go Titan there. Utopia Sprawl. 4 green. Breaker target TKS. Down to 7. Again, we have the turn 4 win. It seems like with a decent hand, this deck can win by turn 4 on average. But like it feels just a little bit too slow. Razor. Okay. Draw. Wastegate Battle Mage. So, what can I do here? I could Sowing Mycospawn, but that won't do much. I could Wastegate Battle Mage, but that won't do much. So in that case, we TKS. I guess we could Mycospawn and TKS, but non-kicked Mycospawn? Yes. Go for Temple. This should be lethal. Yep, Bone scoops it up. Okay, we got it. Yeah, I guess any creature there would win. Alright, well, we want the gemstone back, which means... I'm not sure if I actually want the jailer here. Hey, bring back if that heralds. The Wastegate feels right. I wonder if the Mycospawn's kind of the weak link here. Yeah, I want to say the Mycospawn's actually the weak link here. And if we were, we could cut 2 more Mycospawn for jailer. The thing is, it only stops the Aftermath Analyst lines, and if they bridge with Titan, they just have to go through just a different loop in order to then besage you. Yeah, let's do it like that. As I think Mycospawn's the weak link in this scenario. Because we're really not trying to get to the 7-mana value spells at this point. So, like, we don't really care for the bridge when we're just trying to basically curve out fast and early. I'll keep... This might be too slow on the draw, though, is the only problem. If we play the temple, we do risk Beseiju, so I think we go... I guess it doesn't matter if they Beseiju it. I think we go Stomping Ground tapped, Eldrazi Temple, Line Break. And then at that point, we have to figure out whether or not we Line Break into Line Break, or we go TKS. Especially if I'm going down to 5 cards. If they go down lower, it's even better for TKS on 3. Otherwise, another good thing we could find here would be another Soul Land, which we have 7 hits, a Sprawl, which we have 4 hits. They did keep... There's Grazer. Okay. Draw. K-Command. I mean, K-Command X0 can at least cycle for what it's worth. I think we stick with Stomping Ground tapped, or do we K-Command? I'm going to go Stomping Ground tapped and pass. And pass. The problem is they're going to get a Amulet here, unless we have a Wastegate. 3 for Splunking. Okay, so at this point, the Wastegate wouldn't be as impactful, because now they have at least 1 Amulet effect. Draw. Oh, I think we go for the aggro plan then. Line break. Target line break. Go to combat, hit for 4. And pass. And at this point, if they have the hand, they have the hand. There's an amulet. So they have still only one, the equivalent of one amulet effect. Oh, son of a friggin'. So that's 6. So there's prime time. Yep. And maybe we should have just tried to go for the TKS. Maybe it's right to go E-temp, cycle the K command. We'd have been able to see one card deeper as a result. I mean, we're not dead here, let's be clear. Not yet, anyways. Because bounce land T-West isn't the bridge that they want it to be. They could always go bounce land Beseiju to pop the E-temp. We'd still be able to go line break though, so it's not the end of the world. The problem becomes next turn where they can use prime time as a bridge. You're thinking hard on this one. I don't think there's really much to discuss other than them just going bounce land T West and setting up Mirror Pool. I definitely can't do it this turn. Draw. Sprawl. I mean, they picked up the Carling Vestige. I can't strip that out of the hand. So best we can do is Cavernous Souls and name Eldrazi. For green. Line Breaker. To combat. I mean, it's 10 damage. Again, we're looking at a turn 4 kill. But I don't think we're going to be able to get there. The deck, like, it's accomplishing what it wants to do. Of course, if we hadn't hit that Heralds on turn 1, this would have been a lot better. Of course, we didn't, though. The problem is with the amount of mana they now have, I think they can go for the win. Yeah, I think so. Again, if they demonstrate the loop, I'll just concede. Or at least they demonstrate a lethal line. So they copy Titan. They need 6 mana. So they can't go bounce land T-West. Because that would be 4, 5, 6, 6-3. So it'd still be short on Bounce Land T West. And they can't go Lotus Field. Okay. Oh, Yeah, them not having a second amulet effect here does slow them down quite significantly. Crumbling Vestige, so now they can make red. Green, red, colorless. Explorers, they're digging. They're holding the red just so they can haste the Titan. Alright. So we're down to 2. And the biggest thing now is if I can't finish them off, we lose. There's the Lotus Field T West. They can't transmute at instant speed though. So they're going to need to sack some lands and keep the Lotus Field untapped. They're going to go Bounce Land, Echoing Depths. I guess they could target Mirror Pool. Yes. Bounce Land picks up T West. So now the thought is they could copy Titan. We're down to 2. Second main phase. There's Titan. You could grab Vesuva for a Lotus Field and a Bounce Land. That would give you 5. So you have 5, 6, 8. You would be 1 short of going through the Aftermath line. Yes. 1 mana short. Because you need 6 plus 3, you need 9 exactly. They go T West Pact, Aftermath Analyst, activate. Oh, but they haven't played an extra land for this turn? Is that true? Returns Otawara. Oh, and you have another... Okay. Jailer. So, if I go K command X equals 3. Is that enough? The thing is they have a Otawara. I mean, I think I have to go for it. Flesh Rake, Devourer does nothing. So bottom, draw. E-Temp does nothing. And now's the time to cast the Otawara. Bounce the line break. Yes. So we can make it a 7-3. I guess maybe... Oh, did I mess up? I did mess up. No, I don't think it would have mattered. If I would have K command for 2... Because did I just put bottom all? I did. If I IK command for 2, we would have had line break still. Well, that still wouldn't have been enough. We've only had 2, which means we would have 10. I mean, even now I have 7. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because then they just block the Boreal Grazer. Yeah, and I can't do anything. Yeah, the Otawara was the right pick, because now he has 7-3. If he had 2 8-3s, that'd have been 16 damage. 16 minus 9 would have been 7. That would have been lethal. Unfortunately, we got nothing. Six to the Titan. Damn. Alright, concede. Not much could have been done there. Yeah, the deck seems to want to win by turn 4. It just doesn't always get there is the problem. Feels like it's just out of reach. Trying to figure out a good way to fix that. I'm not sure there is one. But we'll be back for match 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. I mean, we have 10 hits off the top for Lab. We have an additional 4 for Temple, so 14. An additional 4 for Sprawl, so 18 hits. We'll keep it. This, of course, doesn't include... This doesn't include it that heralds the end, which would be a decent turn 2 play, but not like the best. And draw. TKS is not what we wanted to see, so we're going to put Stomping Grounds in play tapped. Again, we have 10, 14 hits off the top. Yeah. And shout out to TD0516. They previously were playing Eldrazi ramp, but looking like they might be playing... The Wooded Foothills throw me off here. I was going to say Affinity, but maybe this is Jeskai Ascendancy. That would be my initial thought. Attack of Tameo. Yeah, I think it's Jeskai Ascendancy. Okay, we desperately need one of the 14 hits off top. Paying cost 4, Spellbomb. Spellbomb's going to be annoying. 2 cards in hand. Draw. Alright, we got there. Tuck Devourer. And Glaring Fleshrake. And pass. And pass. And I just Spellbomb the Fleshrake and call it a day, right? Alright, what do we need off top now in order to curve out? There isn't too much we have to work with is the problem. Because we want a line break. You could also TKS, I suppose. Because we're guaranteed the line break. But I don't have any plays thereafter. Attack. Flame of Anor, that's rough. plus the Tamiyo. That complicates things. Another Mox Opal. Opal to Yard. Blue for Emery. We want Emery dead too. There's the Corey Steel Cut, Misty Rain, Fetch for Steam Vent Shock, and Pyrite Spellbomb too. Interesting. Huh. Draw. Temple. I mean, we could simply TKS the last card in hand. We could K-command the Emery, which is a genuine thought. It would avoid the Corey Steel Cut from coming back. I think that might be the right move, actually. Let's get that Emery down. There may have been also a thought to get rid of the Flame of Anor from Yard. We'll pass. Yeah, because in order for them to win, they need Emery. So getting rid of the Emery's correct. We do need to worry about the Tamiyo, though. Two cards in hand. Seasoned Pyromancer, or not Seasoned Pyromancer, Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar ticks up. There's a Steel Cut. Do you have another cast to follow up? You do. Haywire Might triggers Steel Cut, which means you have a blue and a red left back. So I do want to line break and haste, but you can bounce it is the issue. Another moment where Bajuka Bog would have been nice. Red. Pyrite Spellbomb? Please do it. Do it. Do it. You know you wanna. Damn. Well, there's Flesh Rake. Alright, so I will 5, 6. Unfortunately, we don't have enough for Devourer. Flesh Rake. I can't Myco spawn, can I? If I go green, it'll make another spawn. Okay, actually, I guess I could. And go Mega Spawn into Line Break. Always yield. So they could Spell Bomb here, that is fine. And then go Stomping Ground Shock. There's Line Break. Line Break, target Line Break. Attack Tamiyo. It will get shrunk, admittedly. At least Tamiyo won't be close to ulting. Alright, we have TKS in hand. 2, 4, 6. Fortunately, we are short. Tamiyo ticks up. 1 card in hand. Gets a clue. Play the Steam Vents. Shocking. Cracks a clue. Yep. Draws a card. They could spell bomb here. Draw. Forest. Actually. TKS. Galvanic Blast. Well, that's just rude. Finds a Saga. Unfortunately, can't do much with that. I also can't deal with I can't attack through. So in that case, we'll pass. And pass. 2, 4, 5. Actually, yeah, I guess I should have held the Devour, or held the Lab back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I did make a mistake. Damn. Draws with TKS's effect. Yeah, we need to deal with the Tamiyo is the problem. They're going to start making constructs as well. And draw. Well, in that case... Oh. Let's make sure that they do not make any constructs. So Saga down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll go E-Temp. I'm tempted to attack in, but I don't think we do. What we're trying to do now is just get Devour to exile the Tamiyo. So I think I will pass. And pass. Yeah, so we can get rid of the Tamiyo. We'll be in a good spot. Tamiyo takes up. Land. Passing. Draw. Sprawl. 3, 7. I'm not going to risk the Sprawl. We're just going to Devour. Exile Tamiyo and pass. Tamiyo's down. No attacks. End step. Thinking. Scouting Tarn fetch for a Surveil land. No, a Breeding Pool tapped. Okay. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can TKS into TKS next turn. We're going to be attacking in for at least 12 damage. Paying cost for Flame of Anor. They're drawing 2 cards. Up to 4. Tamiyo, trigger. They won't be able to flip Tamiyo this turn at least. They know about 1 TKS. They don't know about the other one though. We're gonna dump our hand next turn. Draw. Red. Green. TKS. ETB. Get rid of the Corey Steel Cut. TKS. ETB. Get rid of the Moxel. Go to combat. At this point, we just need to lay down fire. Yep, that's fine. Sack the Haywire Mike, get rid of the Sprawl. And pass. Lethal is on board, and opponent scoops it up. Alright. So yeah, Jeskai Ascendancy, win for game 1. I mean, Trinisphere is going to be solid here. Soulless Jailer is solid here. Dismember solid here. I mean, even Grafdigger's Gate is pretty good, too. Escape Battle Mage is good. So we cut, I'm going to say Adrift. Maybe trim on Heralds. Cut Mycospawn. Maybe this is too many cards. Yeah, because otherwise we start sacrificing our overall game plan. The Trinispheres cover a lot of ground. So I'm thinking we cut Jailer, cut a Trinisphere, hold the Wastegate, and go like this. Yes, this seems right. Yeah, because we don't need the bridge, because we're not going to be aiming for the 7 mana value spells here. The Wastegapes are good. Dismembers are good. Alright, let's do it like this, yeah. Let's run it like this. I guess maybe there's also some thought to trimming on the Sprawls. Yeah, that actually might be another option, since we aren't really, like I said, going for those 7-minute value spells. Though they do act as soul lands, and trimming on soul lands feels wrong. So I don't know. That one's a hard one. We don't want to sacrifice too much of what makes this deck aggro, but we also need to make sure they don't just combo off. Means at turn 1, it's that Heralds. Seven hits for another soul land. And then 4 hits for Sprawl. So 11 hits off the top here. We want to get rid of that Tamiyo if possible. Mox Opal. Trigger. There's the lab. There's a Sprawl. We don't need the red necessarily, so I think we go lab instead. Draw, lab, imprint, cast it that heralds, pass, and pass. Next turn we're looking at K Command X2, trying to remove the Tamiyo. Saga would love to see a Wastegate now. Tamiyo attack. Opal's still offline. No blocks. Draw. Go to combat. See, I'm a bit worried here about a consign. Perfect. Draw a card. Consigned memory. Oh, not consigned memory. Kozilek's command. X equals 2. And done. So Tamiyo down and pass. You draw your card. Saga online. Or rather, now I can make constructs. There's a land. Imagine they just hold Mishra's Bauble, Scouting Tarn Fetch. And the Alta Saga token is going to be a bear. 3. Make a construct. Yeah, not a fan of that. Red, blast, rude. Yeah, they might just go construct beatdown here and win. That would be unfortunate. Because again, we don't have many ways to like to sweep the board of constructs. Bob will target me. Opal is offline, but doesn't matter. Be back online next turn. Will they make a construct or just search for a for an artifact off Saga? Well, we'll escape Battle Mage. Pretty good. In that case, I can't do all of the above. So we'll just go Forest, Kicker, Wayscape, Kick, Saga. Alright, and pass 2, 4, 5, 6. So we will want to return Devourer to hand on end step. If they want to trade, be my guest. Return Devourer to hand. Only downside here is the sheer fact that I don't have any targets, but we can instead TKS. Does TKS resolve? Yeah, I wonder if more Wayscape Battle Mage would be a good idea. Consigned memory. And TKS down. Excuse me. Windswept Teeth. Do we want to attack is a question. At some point we're just not going to be able to block it, so we should get our attacks in while we can. So if they want to trade, they can trade. Down to 15. Scouting Tarn Fetch for a Surveil land or a green source, or both. Both is an option. We'll pass in full here. Thundering Falls. 3 cards in hand. Island to Yard. Pause on end step. Let's confirm we don't have Commercial District in Yard. We do not. Good. There's Ragavan. Not dashed. We'll exile Ragavan. We'll take the 2. No reason not to. Fetch, Windswept Teeth. Commercial District, trigger. Temple to top. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna say Temple to the Yard. I need more actions what I need right now. Draw. Trinisphere is also nice. So let's start with waste. 3, 6, 7. Do you have a consign? No consign. We'll attack with Wastegate. And pass. Down to 10. Red, blue, red. Flame. Draw 2. Yes. Pass. I have a blocker for the construct. Bobble. Grows the construct. Emery. Tamiyo. No attacks. Why would you attack? That's bait. I'll take the hit. There's no reason for you to block that. 3, 4, flame. Tamiyo. Does it flip? Yeah, it does. They cast the last flame last turn. Tamiyo tick up. The only thing is Tamiyo's going to end up getting hit down. So moot point there, unless they have a way to bounce. Mox Opal. Do they have an Aether? But if they do... Thunder Trap Trainer. Okay, as a blocker. And they get the search. And there's an Amber. Plays the Amber. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stomping Ground Shock. We'll get rid of the Tamiyo. Tamiyo down, 1 card in hand, go to combat. Bobble target me. Shrinks the construct. Attack with Devourer and pass. Blocking, lethal still on board. Passing. So they can't attack unless they have another blocker. 3 cards in hand. Maybe this isn't Jeskai. I mean, the only white source that we've seen so far is Mox Opal, right? Clearly there was the green for Haywire Might. I'm going to guess Malevolent Rumble. But it definitely feels like Ascendancy, but maybe not. Harbinger is fine at this point. I feel like that hurts you more than it hurts me in the grand scheme. Especially because we do have this waste sitting here. And go to combat. Wastegate Battle Mage would be pretty good here. Does a Bone scoop it up? Bone scoops it up. GG's. Alright, not bad at all. Well, we'll be back for match 4. Alright, And we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. We mulligan this. We are playing against control from the looks of things. Cavernous Souls is nice. I will keep. What do we pitch those? The question. I want the Ugin Lab so we have a higher chance of playing Flesh Rake on 1. So I think we pitch the K command, interestingly enough. Yeah. Done. And then we gemstone. What do we gemstone is the next question. I guess the waste. Yeah, gemstone, waste. Pass. Draw. Hit that Heralds. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. And pass. And pass. Tune the narrative. I mean, the really rough part here is going to be the fact... Like, Wrath of Sky is going to be a real feel-bad here. So, Ugin Lab. No imprint. Do I Flesh Rake or Line Break is the question. I will Flesh Rake. Meticulous Archive. Stock up to Yard. Don't tell me I have a Wrath of Skies for 1. Son of a... Yep. Draw. Hit that Heralds. Pass. And pass. 2, 3, stock up. Okay. That is fine. Solitude hits hit that Heralds. Draw. Null Drift. I will Line Break. Target self. Attack. The 13. Fetch Misty Rain. So at the very least, we have Null Drifter to evoke to dig a bit deeper. Try and draw into some gas. If we draw into a land, we have TKS. Stock up. Such a good card. Three cards in hand. Draw. Go to combat. I guess maybe I should have Null Drifted first on the off chance that we drew into like an It That Heralds in a Soul Land. Null Drift. Draw 2. Whiffing hard here today. Lovely. Pass. Misty Rain. I mean, if I can just get a creature on board, we have lethal. Teferi bounce Line Break. Draw. Orm's Chant. Land, because of course. Pass. And pass. Draw. Myco Spawn. I can Myco Spawn into Line Break. So cast Myco Spawn. Temple. Temple. Line break. Solitude. Wrath the Skies. Yep. Passing. And pass. Draw. Null Drift. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm tempted to TKS. TKS. ETB. Solitude. Hits TKS, I'll gain 4, you'll draw 1, and then I peek. Get rid of that orange chant. Evoke. Draw 2. Devour Destiny is nice, as is that Line Breaker. And pass. They'll go up to 10. The problem is that Wrath Disguise is annoying me. Draw. Devour. We could devour the Teferi. That is a thought. So 1, 2, 3, 7. One, two, three, 7, eh? I mean, Devour gets around Wrath, which is relevant. It also drops to Fairy, so they can't instant speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we Devour here. Let's drop the Teferi and then pass. So now they can't continue to gain life. Destroys Visage. Hit that Heralds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A land would be backbreaking. Well, let's see here. Hold the phone. So I can go TKS. Grab the Wrath of Skies. Eldrazi Linebreaker. I can push you up to 6. Yeah, I think we do go for the line break here. Alternatively, I can go for the TKS. I think the TKS actually is the right move. Go for the TKS. Oh, this is 7/7 though, is the only problem. 7/4. Maybe I should have put it on the Devourer. This is how much mana? 6, 4, 7. Yeah, they could. I'll give you the TKS. It's a trade. I don't like it. Yeah, I should have put it on the Devour rather than the TKS. That is my mistake. Fetch Windswept Teeth to 9. To Fairy Bounce. We need to make sure it's uncounterable. Yep, there's Solitude, Solitude ETBs, targets Devour. That's a bit surprising. TKS. Prismatic Ending. Hit that Heralds. Target TKS. You have to block. Down to 8. We'll pass. Another Prismatic Ending. TKS triggers, you draw a card. The Fairy Plus. That's unsettling that you think you have something. Stomping Ground Shock. Utopia Sprawl. 4 green. Draw 2. I'd overspent because I forgot. It only cost me 6 mana instead of 7. Utopia Sprawls. And Bone scoops it up. Okay. So this is control, specifically Jeskai Energy. We did see Orange Chant. The question is, do they also run the Scepter as well? If so, then we do want the Soulish Jailer. Otherwise, I don't know if we want the Wastegate or Dismember or even Trinisphere for that matter. So I think we just keep it as is until we get a bit more knowledge. Yeah, that'd be my take. Let's see what opponent brings in. I imagine Consigned to Memory. Maybe they do bring in Harbinger. Maybe we should bring in Dismember. Yeah. Just a thought. We have 2 draws here. I will keep, because yeah, if we can go Flesh Rake and the Flesh Rake and the Line Break, we're solid. Draw. Stomp. Do you want to go Temple? Let's go Stomp, tap, pass. And pass. And draw. Foot, Temp, Flesh Rake. Flesh Rake resolves. A little bit disconcerting that that wasn't countered. That feels like they have a sweeper then. Tune the narrative. Yeah, that feels like a sweeper, alright. I think we do want to try and get this Myco spawn down early, so that way we can get a Cavern of Souls on board. Narset. Okay, well now I just want to kill the Narset. Stock up. Solitude. Solitude takes out Flesh Rake. I mean, I think at that point now we just go for Line Break. So, Wooded Foothills. Line Break. Attack Narset. Pass. Narset down. Put a pause on end step. Guess I actually should hold on the off chance of a Harbinger. Would have been really bad if they would have cast that and we didn't do anything for Wooded Foothills for a green source, for example. Fetch with Wooded Foothills. Go Commercial District, trigger. I'm gonna say Null Drifter. I guess we could top this to try and draw into some more gas later. I'm gonna say Grave. We have plenty of gas in hand, is the thing. Fetch Flooded Strand. You have an Orange Chant. You do. We could K command here, but I think I'm gonna hold. Draw. Another Null Drift, anyways. Target self. Attack. Down to 12. Alright, let's see if you have a sweeper. Flooded Strand fetch. To fairy. Stock up. Stock up is fine. End step. K command X equals 2. Bottom, top, and draw. Actually, I'm going to say bottom all. There's the lab. You have another Orange Chant. A kicked Orange Chant at that. Yes. Can't attack. Hugin Lab. I'm going to tuck the Drifter. And hold. Alright. And pass. Tune the narrative. Wrath the Sky. X equals 3. Or rather, pay 3 energy. Just to kind of torture you a bit. Sack 1, sack 2, resolve. And pass. Another K command. So we could Flesh Rake in the Line Break. Alternatively, I can kick a Myco spawn. Yeah, we have 6 as is. So let's start with kicking a Myco spawn. Myco spawn, kick, hit archive. Consign to memory? And getting consign out is fine. It also raises the question of, like, do they give me the body? Because that would also be okay. They give me the body, they give me the search. Perfect. Go Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Ugin Lab. Imprint Sire. I think we go Line Break then. Red. Colorless. And hit you for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we do have the Sire 7. That's next turn. And it will have pseudo hexproof. 3, 4, 5. Looking like a Solitude. No, Wrath. Okay, that's fine. Actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it'd be short. So in that case, we'll go Sprawl. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want to play into a 4, so we're just going to return Sire. Sire 7 deaths, uncounterable. And pass. Stock up. You need a board wipe is the thing. Targeted removal will not work at this point because you only have 7 life. So Sire, for all intent and purpose, has pseudo hexproof unless they have targeted removal and a consign, which they don't, so we got the win. Alright, not bad. We'll be back for match 5. Alright, we're back for match 5. On the draw for game 1, we'll keep. Is a turn 1 into that Heralds. We draw into a Fetch or a Stomping Grounds or a Cavernous Soul. So 2, 6, 10 hits off the top for Line Break. So not bad odds there. Otherwise, I mean, I'll take a Glaring Flesh Rake, Devour of Destiny. So what flavor of Eldrazi is this? That is the question. Oh, this looks like Flesh Raker Forge. Yeah, using Mystic Forge, trying to just Flesh Raker out. Okay, so there's the turn 2 Line Break. So yeah, this is a Mystic Forge version. Bob will target me. Yep. And pass. They shouldn't have any good way to deal with Line Break or it that heralds this turn. Probably leaning on a K command. You have a Flesh Rake. 2. Everflowing Chalice for 1. Okay, it might be Dice Factory, actually. Core Tapper. Draw. Stomping Ground Shock. Line Break. Targets. Target Line Break. You need blockers next turn is the thing. If you don't have blockers, you're going to lose. So you'll be able to generate 3, 4, 5, 6 if you sacrifice the Core Tapper. Is that enough to get you going? Oh, interesting. 7. So you can tap it, put a charge counter, then put 2. Interesting. There's Karn. I guess you could grab Bridge, but that wouldn't necessarily be enough. At least it would stop that Heralds. I don't actually have a way... Paradox Engine. Oh, shoot. Don't tell me they actually have it. No, not this turn. Okay. No. We're good. We're good. We have lethal. So... Forest. Sprawl. Red. Mycospawn. Eldrazi Temple. Line break, target Mycospawn. And all at you. And we got there. So this is Dice Factory. All right. Trying to think here. Wasescape is good. I don't think Disruptor Flute does too much. I think we cut our bridge, because we're just gonna have to like go really quick here. So I think Wasescape from Mycospawn makes sense. And just run it back like this. We could also cut like a 7-mana value spell maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay. I guess Dismember also wouldn't be bad for the Glaring Flesh Rake. I mean, we have a lot of hits off top. I'll keep it. It's risky, don't get me wrong. But if we can go Flesh Rake into Line Break we're solid. See if there's any other surprises in here we should be aware of. Nope. Nothing surprising about that. Temple. 1. Surge Node. I can only imagine that playing this in paper is absolutely miserable. Just all the dice. Not what we wanted to see. Tuck Sire, passing. So at this point, we have, what, 22 that's off the top still? Yeah. I guess 21, because we don't want to see a tapped land. Puts it on Everflowing Chalice. So now you have 3. Flesh Rake would be my guess. Yep, there's a Flesh Rake. Saga will be an issue. Draw. Pass. I mean, we play the numbers and the numbers played us. It's 21 hits out of 53. So like I said, roughly, I don't know, 43% if I had to ballpark that math. 53, or 21 divided by 53. 40. 40%. I'm in danger. Could be a K command. Nope, it's another Flesh Rake. I'm in danger. Oh no. Makes a construct. Wait, why would you do that now though? Why would you not wait until the other Flesh Rake was on board so you dealt me more damage? I'm confused. And why not attack there either? More confusion. Hey, look at that. Alright, let's see if we can Flesh Rake them out. Flash Rake. I don't think it's gonna work, but we'll try. Pass. Inventor's Fair. Weird. Search library for an artifact. Oh, I guess that does allow you to like grab a Mystic Forge, for example. Yeah. Flesh Rake Pinion. I feel like you should have put another counter on Chalice and tapped it for the mana. Because right now you're not making full usage of like Surge Node. I guess you still have the option to do so now that you have the Mox Opal. So, might not have mattered in the grand scheme. White. Or not. Green. Is another Chalice? Maybe not. 5. No blocks. Down to 10. Drawing. Wooded Foothills. I will be able to go Myco Spawn into Flesh Rake. So we'll go for... As much as I would like to shock here, I think I need to not. At the same time, not doing so feels wrong. All Stomping Grounds shock. Sowing Myco Spawn trigger. Go E-Temp. Always yield. Always yield. Resolve. And Flesh Rake. Alrighty. We will pass. Surge Node doing its thing. So we're not dead yet. 2, 4, 6, 7. So we could sire 7 deaths next turn. That is a thought. I mean, if you just have a K command, you win. Surge Node. You could sack Inventor's Fair at this point. White. Colorless. Core Tapper. Triggers. That's what, 6 damage. Down to 1. Yes. Do you have one more colorless? Actually, it doesn't matter. I have to block with all. Let me slow roll. I guess you have Devourer. That's what we're seeing here. Forgot you still have that in hand. Yep, you got it. And that would have been another 6 damage, so that 3 that we took off did not matter. Alright, game 3. Alright, so we'll cut the gemstone. Yeah, I think I do bring in Dismember. I think I cut a Null Drifter here. And then run it back. On the play for game 3. I will keep... So we're looking for a soul land here with Devourer. Trigger. There's the lab. So in that case, we are going commercial district, trigger. We're going to keep it on top. A bit unfortunate that was in our opening hand, rather than, like, let's say a stomping grounds. Even a fetch would have been fine. We just wouldn't have fetched on until our turn after we draw. Ugin Lab. Imprint. No imprint. Bobble. Bobble. Opal. Bobble target me. They see the lab. Draw. Draw. Lab. Trigger. Imprint. Line break. Target self. 4. Pass. Ugin Lab. You didn't have an imprint before, so did you draw into one? No. That hand might be too slow, friend. 2. Core Tapper. It's a blocker. Paying cost for Cornucopia. You can put 2 on it. Draw. Sprawl. Waste. TKS. ETB. There's Karn, there's Fleshrake, there's Forge. I mean, I think we have to get rid of the Karn is the problem. Now we'll get rid of the Karn. Line break. Target TKS. Go to combat. Blocking, they'll put 2 on the Cornucopia. So now I have access to 4 mana. Bobble target me. Down to 13. We currently have access to 9 damage. We can put 2, 3 more. So actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more on board. There's the Fleshrake. Imagine Chalice. I'd love a land off top now. And draw. Another line break. Well, if you insist, cast line break. Go to combat. Line break, target you. Line break, target you. And that is lethal damage. So down to 1. So they won't even be able to use Mystic Forge's ability. Gemstone. 2 unknowns in hand. You have access to 5 mana currently. Everything you play, for all intent purposes, discounted by 1, so Forge is 3. So you'll have 2 after you play Forge. Five mana. K command X3. So that will bump you up to 4. You still have lethal damage on board. If you play the Forge, you only have 1 mana left. You have 1 unknown in hand. We'll take 4 damage here, down to 14. I guess actually down to 15. We've already accounted for the 1. We're at a theoretical 13. Paying cost. Mystic Forge. Trigger. You have 1 mana. Paying cost. Cornucopia. If they somehow deal me 14 damage, I mean, A, they should have attacked for 2, but nope, opponent's gonna scoop it up. We got there. Alright. Well, that will end today's league with a 3-2 record at the end of 5. So, not too bad. Obviously not the best record in the world. What I'm learning with this deck is that it really wants to win on turn 4. It seems to be turn 4 is the average turn that the game ends here, right? You get enough pressure on board, fantastic. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way, a reasonable way, to make it a turn shorter. If we could get to 3, then this deck would be off to the races, right? But I don't think there is the problem. I don't think there is. Like, it just needs a little bit more oomph. And I'm not sure what that would look like. Maybe another hasty Eldrazi or pseudo-haste in the way of Linebreaker. But I can't really think of any other hasty Eldrazi within the low mana curve. You know, obviously we have our 7 mana value spells. Theoretically speaking, there's stuff like Reality Smasher or well, there's the Pouncer from Modern Horizons 3, the 1 red. You can pay 3 or 2 and a colorless to give it 2+1/+1 counters, trample, and haste. I'm not really thinking like that. You know, and like it needs to be like 3 mana, either has haste and decent stats, and a relevant cast trigger, or it needs to give other things haste in the same way that Linebreaker does. So definitely interesting. It also just comes down to like we're slowly but surely starting to gather up enough data to be able to say like, okay, here's how many of this should be in the deck, here's how many of this should be in the deck, yada yada yada. So once we get there and just kind of fine-tuning the main board, then we can look at the sideboard a bit more. But once we've like, I feel like we're going to quickly get to the same point as E-Ramp, where like the deck is tuned and that's it, right? We go, cool, that's the deck. And then we kind of just go, all right, on to the next thing. Maybe I'll write up a guide for Aggro. Because our win rate's not bad. I have a few 0-1 drops. But otherwise, like 2-3-2s, 1-4-1. It's not bad, all things considered. Let me actually run the analysis. I have been kind of putting that off. Let's look at our current win rate with Aggro. So all dates showing Aggro and not Karn Eldrazi ramp. Okay, so I mean, it's not bad by any stretch. We're looking at 55% win rate. So yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Could be far worse. Let's be clear on that. So yeah, 55% win rate, 66% win rate against Blink, against Control. We've definitely played a lot of off-meta decks. But, I mean, some relevant ones. Basking Broodscale, Titan, Blink, Energy. Energy seems especially rough, honestly. I'm not sure what the answer to Energy is, other than maybe some sideboard sweepers like Allah's does, but even that feels really rough. And just trying to get the 7 with this deck feels eh. And I think that's why Null Drifter will be good, because the times where we don't get the 7 but we need something, then we can at least drift. I do wonder if there's a world where I want to play like a breeding pool so I can evoke Null Drift, right? Like maybe there's a thought there. I don't know. At least that way I could more reliably evoke it. Whereas otherwise I need a Gemstone Cavern or a Utopia Sprawl in blue to do so. So a thought there as well. I do like the Utopia Sprawls. I think having Soul Lands number 9 through 12 is good. It makes the deck more consistent. I mean, you can hear every time that we're like, okay, off the top, I need, there's 10 hits for 7 mana value spells. There's 4 hits for Utopia Sprawl. There's 7 hits for Soul Lands, right? So, like, there's all these different options I think that Utopia Sprawl does open up in a meaningful way. So I do like that. And it's not like we're hurting on red sources or colorless sources by any stretch of the imagination. We have 10 red sources to play with. So, turn 1 looking for a red source is very, very doable. All right, though. But I think that there will be the end of my prattling. We'll keep an eye on the opening hand data and the play data to make some more decisions on the deck, see what needs to be trimmed, see what could be added. I think Wayscape Battle Mage is a card that we might need to look at. I'm not sure if we trim on Sowing Mycospawn or if that heralds the end or what. But I definitely think maybe some number of Wayscape Battle Mage would be good. There's just a lot of relevant hits in like Urza Saga, in Amulet of Vigor, stuff like that, that I think would be important for Wayscape Battle Mage to be available in main. Like maybe we cut a 7 mana value spell. Not sure if we cut a Sire or a Null Drifter. Probably a Null Drifter. And maybe it that heralds the end. That way we would have access to 2 Wayscape. But it that herald also has some decent opening hand data. But I digress. With that being said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It is always appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. At that point, I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, which will allow me to start saving up towards a streaming PC. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you can get early access to my YouTube videos and any updates I make to my deck guides. With that said, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!